Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Panos Cosmatos, back at it again with the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by just Babby.
Yay.
We're late. Both in recording this and posting it.
True.
This will be a rare Tuesday upload. Babby got tatted up yesterday, so we were not able to record.
User.
So we're one day late, but that's great because that gives us more time. There was so much news that came out today. I'm really glad we postponed this to today. And by a lot of news, I mean nothing of note. But this is a very rare week where we have basically no gaming news, but we have a lot of movie news and a decent amount of show news. And we have a lot of music stuff to go over. So that'll be a very lengthy segment also. Plus, and this is a big one, we got some D&D updates. Whew, we don't usually cover tabletop games.
We're not nerds.
We're not nerds, except we are going to be going over this D&D update. Because we have on occasion played Dungeons and Dragons among other tabletop role-playing games. And we are, I guess, nearing D&D 6e after like 8 years. I think 5e came out in 2014. So we are starting the play test for 6e. So we'll be going over that. And that's pretty exciting. So I guess without further ado, we'll just jump into gaming news. We'll start with video gaming because everybody's a video gamer. And we have pretty much nothing. Both of them are just kind of like statements. One of them is a rumor, and a rumor that I'm not even particularly excited for. So hold on to your horses, I guess. The first one is that Disney is looking to increase their output of Star Wars games. I guess good. I don't know. They're looking to release a new Star Wars game every 6 months. They're looking to cycle through one AAA game and then one smaller scale game every year. I think this is a good move. I think limiting Star Wars games to just EA was probably the worst business decision of my lifetime. So yeah, good. I'm glad that they're opening it up. I'm glad that Lucasfilm Games is a thing. I wish they would have kept the name LucasArts because that's way easier to say. And I think Disney officially killed the tradition of a new Star Wars game coming out every year between 1978 and like 2014, unless you count mobile games, which I do not.
Not real games.
Those are not real games. So there's that. That's pretty fun. And then the other thing just came out, I think either today or yesterday. There are rumors of a Horizon Zero Dawn remake remaster. I don't.
When did the first one come out? Like 2016?
2017.
Wow.
Yeah, same day, or not the same day, but like a couple weeks before Breath of the Wild came out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this definitely is not needed. If y'all thought that The Last of Us remake wasn't needed, then this is definitely not needed. You can play this on the PS5. There's a PS5 upgrade for it, which lets you play it in 60 FPS. It's on the PC already, so it's not like you're tapping into an untapped market or anything. This is just unnecessary, in my opinion. If they updated all the animations to make it not automated animations, then I would say it's very worthwhile. But we don't know. There's also apparently a Horizon Online / multiplayer game in the works. Don't know anything about that either. If this is Sony's new thing of having like single player games make separate multiplayer games, honestly, I'm not a fan of that. Because PlayStation has multiplayer game franchises that they have completely forgotten about. Like, isn't it like Killzone? Isn't that one?
It sounds like something.
I don't know. They have like first-person shooter franchises that haven't been touched since the PS3. It's not like we need to take The Last of Us and Horizon and make just spin-off games that are multiplayer games. How about you actually make multiplayer games that can stand on their own? I'm a bigger fan of that.
That's too hard.
I know it's too hard. And this has a little bump in marketing where it's like, hey, if you like Horizon Zero Dawn, then you need to play this shitty multiplayer game that we made in 6 months. I think The Last of Us 1 is going to be fine because it's Naughty Dog. But frankly, I don't trust Guerrilla. I don't think they've earned that yet. They have a couple decent games on their belt, but I don't think they've made anything that's super transformative that people are going to remember them for. So we'll see. We don't even know who that's being made by, so it might not even be made by Guerrilla. So who knows? But let's talk about D&D. This is probably, I don't know if this is our most niche thing that we've talked about. But, well, I guess no. Critical Role is pretty big. But in terms of like the entertainment ether, I would say D&D is a very small corner of that. But we've gotten, they're calling them unearthed arcanas, which is just a fancy way of saying playtest materials. This one, it looks like that they're looking to like split up classes a little bit and decompartmentalize them. I don't know. You're putting them into categories. So there's like, I think it's expert, wizard, warrior, and I don't remember what the fourth one is. It might just be No, I want to be spellcaster because that's already wizard. I don't know. There's 4 categories. And this first one is the expert category, which are all over the place as to what... I think this is just kind of the miscellaneous one where they couldn't think of... these 3 didn't really fit in any of the categories they were thinking of. So they're like, okay, we'll just call them experts. So you got the ranger, the rogue, and the bard. No connection.
Really random.
Yeah.
In one category.
Yeah, I don't know what they're thinking there. That being said, I think that the changes that they're doing are actually really good. I'm a fan of what they're doing here. They've released, I guess, one subclass for each of those 3, which I think I wrote that down. Yes. So the Bard's first subclass is College of Lore. I don't know why they take Bards so seriously. Everyone just makes them horny, I don't even know, rapscallions. They're funny. Rogue's subclass is Thief, obviously. And Hunter is Ranger. I looked through these. I think Rogues definitely did not need a buff. They were probably one of the most OP classes in the game. Towards the end, they could like single-handedly destroy like pretty much everything if they can pull off stealth rolls. Bards, I was like, okay, that seems to be a nice little bump. Like they definitely are given a little bit more utility, and they're kind of turning them into like a healer support, which I think is good. They kind of turned Bardic Inspiration from like just giving double dice rolls, and I think it gives you a boost of health too. So they're going to be even more of a support than they already were, which is good. And the Ranger, in my opinion, is the worst class in the game. It's definitely the coolest class. Like if I were to like pick like the aesthetics or like the, I guess just the feel of one. Like, there's no cooler guy than like Aragorn in the beginning of Lord of the Rings, where he's just like a cool ranger type dude. That guy's awesome. You cannot play as him in the current game. Ranger is very, very underpowered and is in desperate need of a buff. Hunter does that. It really there's some huge gains there. Honestly, I looked through this like 5 days ago, so I don't remember the details. But just know that the Rangers are getting a little bit of a big buff, which is good. So, and then also, feats now are like really, really good. Feats in D&D 5e were kind of like an alternative to the ability score modifier thingy. So like once you hit a certain level, then you could, bump your stats a little bit, increase your stats, or you could take a feat. And feats were kind of cool, but it's like, ability scores are a little bit more useful than being able to reload as a bonus action or like do something like that. I don't know any of the feats because nobody ever uses them. Now they are giving feats an actual reason to exist, and the ability score improvement is now a feat. So it isn't get the ability score improvement or a feat. It is pick a feat, and if you want to still increase your abilities, then you can still do that. But honestly, the feats that I was seeing on that list, I was way more impressed with. So it's actually going to be a hard decision as to whether or not you get a cool power that will really help you, either in combat or out of combat, or just kind of increasing your stats, which will just make you kind of better overall. I don't know. Depends on what you're playing. But we got, I think in terms of release, it still sounds like that 6E is a couple years out. It looks like they're going to be releasing these play tests and then having all the people who have played it do a survey, compile feedback, do another play test, and then just repeat that cycle for a couple years until they finally get it to a place that they think is balanced. So yeah, it looks fine right now. But I do have some things that they are looking to be added in the 6E. So by the end of all these playtests, they're going to be releasing revised versions of every class from the 2014 Player's Handbook. We have 48 total subclasses, so that's pretty epic. New and revised spells, new and revised feats, new weapon options for certain classes, a new system for creating a home base for your characters. Don't know what that means. Revised encounter building rules and new and revised monsters. So, looks to be a pretty big update. I mean, it's definitely, we're due for a new edition of D&D. So, I will keep you posted as to when new release dates and stuff are announced. I probably won't go through all the nitty gritty of all these playtests because this is way too specific for the general audience to enjoy. But if you're into D&D, then this is big news. Well, we can move on. We'll do show news first because movie news is going to be a little bit more involved. In terms of show news, we got Our Flag Means Death Season 2 started filming. Very excited. Cool. I love that show. I'm glad to see that it didn't get canceled with all the Warner Brothers drama, which we will get to because there is more. I know it's a segment that we haven't touched on in like a month, but a real development just came out, which is pretty interesting. We got our first trailer for The Last of Us show. I assume you saw this.
Yes.
Okay. We did not get a release date. It's coming 2023. But what did you think of the trailer?
It looks pretty good. It's weird because, like, you don't get trailers often where I'm like, I know every single part of the game where this scene happens.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty accurate to that. The one clicker we saw looked really good, so
Yes.
I'm not worried at all for this show anymore.
No, I'm not worried
we're in
for the
clear.
effects. I'm a little worried of it being too derivative of the game. In my opinion, this show doesn't really need to exist. I'm excited for it. I will watch it, but I think the kind of old entertainment kind of way of thought where the only like true art form is that of visual visual media is kind of outdated. You even hear that sometimes in the music community where it's like, yo, this album is like such a good narrative, it's a film. It's like, no, it's just a narrative album. You're discrediting the art form by comparing it to another art form. I think that gaming has finally gotten to the point where really solid stories can exist, and I don't totally think that every game needs a media adaptation to kind of justify its existence. But I understand that this will introduce a new audience to the franchise, which is obviously good. It will get more people interested in the story, which is also good. I just have a love-hate relationship towards these portrayals. But the trailer, I thought, looked really good. Pedro Pascal, he's a really solid Joel, as for what we saw. Ellie, I don't know. We did not get, I don't think, any line of dialogue that she had.
It was like one or two.
I think she's the one that I'm most worried about because Ellie is so iconic, and I think if you mess up Ellie, then that's really how you mess up the show. Joel is pretty much just a stone man. He's a angry, evil man that likes to kill people, but does like young girls. But that's
crazy. That's crazy.
not in a sex way, like
That's
as
crazy.
a daughter way. But yeah, really liked the trailer. It looks solid. We'll see how that goes. We'll definitely watch it when it comes out, which I don't know when that is. The fact that they didn't give a date kind of makes me think that it might be summer, but obviously not confirmed. I originally guessed for spring, which is still possible, but we just don't know. So I just want to hedge my bets a little bit. In terms of other show news, we got a trailer for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. This man is he's the busiest man in Hollywood. He's just always making stuff. But to be fair, this is not something that he is making. It seems to be kind of like one of those like Alfred Hitchcock Presents things where he kind of like curates a bunch of directors' work and then it's like, I put my stamp of approval on it. These are all just going to be a bunch of horror shorts from a bunch of like, I would say the best directors in horror. You got Jennifer Kent, who made the Babadook and the Nightingale. You got Panos Cosmatos, who made Beyond the Black Rainbow and everyone's favorite movie, Mandy. That's a fun one. That one has Nick Cage in it, and he's wacko. And I would say the best director out of the bunch is Catherine Hardwicke, who did the first Twilight movie.
Let's go.
That was the only thing of note I could find on her IMDb page. So, yeah, the best directors in horror of the 21st century. This is a Netflix original. They're going to be coming out daily starting on October 25th. I don't know. I'll probably watch the Panos Cosmatos one because I really dig his style. But who knows? In terms of like people who are in it, they tend to be kind of. I mean, I saw like Tim Blake Nelson, who I love. I love Tim Blake Nelson. Good old Buster Scruggs. And then Rupert Grint, who played Ron in the Harry Potter movies. Don't see him in much anymore, but he's in this. But it seems to be mostly kind of relatively unknown people with big name directors. So I think that's definitely something to look out for. I think Guillermo del Toro definitely has his hand on the pulse when it comes to horror. So I like him a lot. So there we go. This is kind of show and movie news, but we're going back to Warner Brothers. Drama. We got some drama. Warner Brothers Discovery, aka the most beloved company in the whole wide world, they reportedly cooked its HBO subscriber numbers by as many as 10 million. And now they're getting sued by their shareholders.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Poor Warner Brothers Discovery.
Oh, no.
I don't know how they're going to recover. This has been like the worst 2 months of PR I think I've ever seen for a big name studio like this. Usually Disney is able to shut down all of the bad talk about them as soon as anything bad happens, like within like a week. This has been like months long of just L's for Warner Brothers, one of the most beloved companies before. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. Sounds like the whole company is imploding, which I guess is good. I'm a fan of corporations failing. Also, Epix will relaunch as MGM Plus in January of 2023. Can we stop? Can we stop? I get it. You can make more money by making your own streaming service than giving it to Netflix, but who is going to buy MGM Plus? Frankly, I don't know who's getting like Peacock or Apple TV Plus, unless you just really love Ted Lasso. Yeah, we just need to stop. So nobody get this, but everybody sign up for MGM Bets because Jamie Foxx told me to in a commercial, which I always appreciate Jamie Foxx telling me what to do.
I'll do whatever he tells me.
I'll do whatever. All right, let's talk about movie news. We got a lot of movies. The first big thing, Deadpool 3. It is coming out November 9th, 2024. So over 2 years from now. But it is confirmed to have Hugh Jackman returning as Wolverine. Which I guess is pretty big, because Hugh Jackman has been pretty adamant that Logan is the end of him playing the character. But I guess since Ryan Reynolds is his friend, I guess he was like, hey, actually, I guess I'll put the claws back on you. I don't know what accent that is. It's not Australian. So yeah, I haven't seen Deadpool 2. I thought the first one was pretty decent. But yeah, I don't know. People are really excited. I've seen one X-Men movie and I've seen Deadpool, so I have no attachment to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine or really Deadpool. Frankly, I find Deadpool pretty cringe. I don't know if that's a hot take. I don't really dig the whole fourth wall break thing. It's a crutch. Frankly, it's a crutch. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. People are pumped. We got a new Planet of the Apes movie. This one's not written and directed by Matt Reeves, so I don't know why I'm reporting on this. It's written and directed by Wes Ball. You know who Wes Ball is?
No.
Are you kidding me? He's a household name. Everyone knows Wes Ball.
Not me. I don't own a house.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Well, have you heard of a little trilogy called the Maze Runner trilogy?
Some may have said that, yeah, I've heard of that.
Okay. So I guess he's taken his hand and gonna make a Planet of the Apes trilogy.
That's not gonna be good.
No, it's not. The concept art that they shared looked good, but it's concept art. The concept artist should get paid a lot more. But I don't think the movie's going to be good. Let's talk about good news. Armor Wars starring Don Cheadle is no longer a TV show. It's now a movie. Oh boy, that's good. Kenobi was changed from a movie to a TV show, and that show was pretty bloated. So I'm actually a fan of this move. If you can cut down all the fat and kind of just have it be more streamlined, then good. And I love Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle is my favorite. He was in one Kendrick Lamar music video, and he was in Hotel Rwanda, which makes him the best actor of all time.
True. And he was in Space Jam 2.
Oh, of course he was in Space Jam 2. How could I forget? He was my favorite character.
Second on the ticket. He's a big name actor.
That's true. It was LeBron James, Don Cheadle, and Bugs Bunny, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Very good movie. Everybody watch it on HBO Max right now. All 10 million of you. Good news. Tim Robinson, my favorite sketch comic. I Think You Should Leave, one of the best shows out there right now. He's going to be in Avatar 2.
Let's go.
His name is Aqua Vatar, a Na'vi who is really good at swimming.
Wow.
I would hope that all of them are good at swimming because it's called The Way of the Water. And I think the whole thing, not the whole thing.
Maybe he's just like really good.
He's really good at swimming. I'll take it.
He's like the best.
He's really good. He's the Michael Phelps of big blue people.
Yeah.
That would be. Why did they get Tim Robinson? It's just like, hey, Navi guy, can you help me swim? I'm so good at swimming.
That's all I've ever known.
That's all. That's all I want to see. I'm still not going to see the movie. You still can't make me watch that movie, but that's nice. I like that they got Tim Robinson in it, and I like that he's really good at swimming, because that sounds like an I Think You Should Leave sketch, where it's just like Avatar 2, but you're just the one that's good at swimming, and he's like, I'm the best. I love swimming. They should make that a sketch, and I Think You Should Leave. I think it'd be great. Bob Odenkirk should play James Cameron. We got a new Tarzan film in development. Not by Disney. Not by Disney. So this one's not going to have Phil Collins doing the score. This one's going to be made by Sony. Everyone's favorite movie production company. I don't know if you know this, but they made Morbius.
Banger.
Good movie. Venom 2.
Banger.
Emoji Movie.
Sick.
Great film. Good for all ages.
Even.
So they're making a new Tarzan movie, and they are aiming to totally reinvent the character for the 21st century. Tarzan's gonna dab in this one.
God, I hope so.
It's gonna be like that it's like the Kong Skull Island thing, where like it's just a bunch of science people like on an island, and they're like, "Yo, we're gonna teach this big ape how to do the worst thing imaginable and just kill everybody." And then do a dab. Do they dab in Emoji Movie?
Frankly, I haven't seen enough of Emoji Movie to tell, but I'm sure they probably do.
I'm sure Patrick Stewart
I know
does.
they have like a dance party at the end, like a 2000s movie for some reason.
Yeah, they do. And it's an ad for the Just Dance mobile app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they dab.
If I search Emoji Movie dab, I'm just going to get people.
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, pull that up. Did you mean Emoji Movie dubbed? No.
No.
Dab. I did not.
You know what I want.
International, not dubbed. Why does everyone think it's dubbed? I just want to see the dab.
You watch Emoji Movie with subs or dubs, though? I'm more of a subs. I like the original voice acting cast.
Well, I am always more of a dub just because I like to...
the ease of access.
So it's ease of access, and I want to see all the animation. They put a lot of work into the animation,
True,
so
I have to stare at the screen for subtitles.
Right, it's hard to pay attention to the art when you're reading it. So I'll definitely watch the Tarzan movie. It's probably going to be really awesome. We got a new news about Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie. This is the dude that made The Lobster and The Killing of a Sacred Deer and The Favorite. I think The Favorite's Remember like 2 years ago when there was a trailer that had Emma Stone in it and she was like a queen or a princess or something, and then she was like, I'm sassy, and then the old lady's like, stop being sassy, you need to be a good lady.
I think so.
Yeah, that's The Favorite. I haven't seen it. I have not seen a single one of his movies. I've heard The Lobster is good. The Lobster just sounds like a Black Mirror movie, which I love.
The Lobster.
I think the premise of Lobster is you go like it's a post I don't know, like not post-apocalyptic, but like a Handmaid's Tale type beat where you have like a week in this like mansion and you have to fall in love with someone there, or else you're turned into an animal of your choice. And so
you get to choose.
You get to choose. And the main character is played by Colin Farrell, aka Penguin, in the Batman. Among other things, I really like Colin Farrell. I don't like to discount him like that. He's in my favorite movie, In Bruges. It's a great movie. But he chooses a lobster. That's what what he'd like to be. And I think he has a dog, which is his brother, because his brother is a nerd, I guess. Didn't get any tang. Unlucky. But we got some news about Yorgos Lanthimos' new movie. It has Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Todd.
I love Todd.
I know you do. I'm surprised you don't know his name by now.
I do know his name.
You just didn't applaud? I was
only
expecting
react
applaud.
to Todd.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll have to call him Todd from now on. We also got Willem Dafoe. Everyone loves Willem Dafoe.
Classic.
And Margaret Qualley, who you know as, remember the hippie chick in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that puts her feet on Brad Pitt's windshield? Yeah, that's Margaret Qualley. Yeah, it's hard to forget. It's right in your face.
It's like 5 minutes.
He really did not try to hide it in that movie.
No.
Hopefully there's going to be less feet in this one.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I've not seen any of his movies. Maybe this guy has a raging foot fetish also. This movie's called And.
He really likes animals.
No, not Ant. And.
Oh,
like
and.
Will and Grace.
That's going to be... I love when, like, studios keep making these movies that are just words, so it's impossible to look them up.
You know, this is going to be some artsy movie. Well, and it's made by Searchlight, which is like the Fox division, where it's like we have to find these like little artsy directors and just give them free reign a little bit.
Money.
And cash. So yeah, that's going to be impossible to find on Google, but I do love me some Jesse Plemons, and frankly, I'm a big Emma Stone fan. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I like Emma Stone a lot. Let's get to the news that everybody's talking about. Robert Eggers, aka the best director in Hollywood, responsible for The Lighthouse and Northman, is remaking Nosferatu with Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu and Lily Rose Depp as the other lead. We don't know her name. Actually, I watched the movie and I don't know. I guess spoiler alert for later. I watched Nosferatu yesterday because I saw the news that they were recreating it. And I'm like, okay, let's see what the original is. So I did. And I have no idea who this chick is supposed to play. Who's played by Lily Rose Depp, who is Johnny Depp's daughter. Obviously.
Interesting.
Previously, it had Harry Styles and Anya Taylor-Joy as the leads. People are upset that Anya Taylor-Joy is not a part of the project anymore. But apparently it was scheduling conflict, so she actually turned it down. It wasn't like she was booted or anything. So, wah wah. Everyone's so sad. But I think Bill Skarsgård as Nosferatu is great. He was Pennywise in It, so he definitely knows how to play a creepy guy. Whether or not he's a little bit of a creeper. Whether or not he'll be able to play Nosferatu, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how you remake this movie. I watched it This is the first silent movie I've ever seen. Came out in 1922. It's officially turning 100. So happy birthday, Nosferatu. A little German horror movie. I think it's the first adaptation of Dracula on film, because the famous one with Bela Lugosi was 1931. That one's like the iconic black and white Dracula. This one came out in 1922. It's famous for that one scene in SpongeBob where Nosferatu was turning the lights off.
True.
Honestly, I was waiting for that shot, and then when it finally happened, it kind of killed the mood. Because it was supposed to be like a creepy part. But I'm like, that's when the thing, that's when he
that's
just,
from that SpongeBob.
It does the flippy flip.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu. Honestly, and this might be controversial, didn't really hold up. I was not really a fan of this movie. It was split up into 5 acts, which you gotta love. Like officially, like it would pause and it would say Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. 'Cause they were used to doing stage shows and stuff. I think the main guy, his name was so stupid. It was like Hanger or something. Hander?
I just met her.
Ha! His boss is like one of Dracula's minions, and his name is like, why can't I remember these names? They were so specific. His name is like Crouch or something. I think his name is Crouch. And he's like an evil dude, and he sends him to it's like, hey, we run real estate. You should sell that house that's right in front of your house. I'm gonna send you to Transylvania. You're gonna meet this old lord guy, and you're gonna have him move into the house that's right in front of you. And he's like, okay, awesome. I'm super excited. I'm pumped. I've never been to Transylvania, the land of phantoms and thieves. He repeatedly calls it that. He's still excited to go. Mm-hmm. I don't know why anyone would be excited to go to the land of phantoms and thieves, but he's really pumped. And he tells his wife, and his wife is devastated. I'm assuming that's who Lily Rose Depp is going to play. If that's true, yeah, I can see why Anya Taylor-Joy turned down the role. She's barely in this movie. She's just like, oh, please don't go. I'm so sad. And he's like, don't worry. I'll not die. And then he goes on a ship and goes over there. And then he goes to the dude's house, and Nosferatu's like, yo, come sit down. I'm tired because it's daytime. And then the dude falls asleep, and then he gets bitten by Dracula. It's pretty scary. Any more of that, then that would be spoiler territory. And I don't want to spoil this movie in case people haven't seen it yet. Yeah. It's pretty fresh. But honestly, it was pretty funny. It was actually very funny. They had no idea how to do like any sort of special effect or anything. Obviously, because it was 1922. So like, they wanted to have a shot where like there's an ominous door, and then it like slowly opens up, and then Nosferatu is just standing there all spooky like, but they couldn't figure out how to have like a door open by itself. So it was like an old YouTube video where they like took one frame, and then they like move the door a little bit, stop, take a picture, move the door a little bit, stop, take a picture, move the door all the way open. So it was like a stop motion movie or something where it just like kind of yanks open, and then he's just standing there. There was so many shots like that where it's like they had no idea how to like get anything to go like that. Like they wanted to have like a carriage go super fast because Dracula was driving it. But they just like sped up the footage, and it looked like they obviously sped up the footage. Or they wanted it to be creepy, so they inverted the film. It's like, okay. It's kind of cute. It's fun to see like where this all started, but it's not scary. and it's not really good. There's like this
Well,
long,
duh.
yeah. There's this long scene in Act 4 where Nosferatu ships himself in a coffin to this new house, along with 5 other coffins that are just filled with dirt. And so there's something where it's like he can only feed on the land that he was bitten to turn into a vampire. So he had to transport that dirt with him. So then there's like multiple scenes of him like just walking through town holding a coffin in the middle of the night. Very fast. They sped up the footage. So he's like holding this huge coffin. He's just like waddling through town. And it's pretty funny. I think I can pull up the Roger Ebert review because it kind of made me laugh after watching it. Let me see if I can find it. But yeah, it was pretty fun, pretty good movie. But let's talk about a movie that hasn't come out yet, but it's one that I'm pretty excited for, and that's the Community movie. We talked about this last week, 2 weeks ago,
Like 2 weeks ago, I think.
that it was in production. We got an official confirmation from NBC and all of the cast, well, pretty much all of the cast, that the Community movie is coming out. It will release next year on Peacock, unfortunately. Okay, so here's the news. Most of the original cast is set to be in it. Obviously not Chevy Chase, because nobody wants to work with Chevy Chase. So I don't even know if he was asked. They kicked him off the show, and then it was just like, oh yeah, he's kind of gone now. But Donald Glover, unknown as to whether or not he will return. Also, Yvette Nicole Brown, unknown if she will be back. She was the theater lady in Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she's not doing much nowadays.
No, not really. The only thing we have that maybe Joel McHale in his thing, who's like the main guy in Community, he tagged both Donald Glover and Yvette Nicole Brown in his tweet about the movie. And then Yvette Nicole Brown also tweeted about the movie. But as of now, Donald Glover and Yvette Nicole Brown are not attached to this project. But Donald Glover has been pretty, like, supportive of this movie. Like, he was in the Community table read that happened during COVID, and he was in favor of being in the movie then. He's a busy guy. I don't know if he's going to be in the movie. It would definitely be kind of a weird left turn from where he is right now. Going back to his roots. Kind of like Keanu Reeves going back to Bill and Ted after being the John Wick guy. But, you know, Keanu Reeves did go back. So who knows? We'll see if Donald Glover is willing to get out of his little weird surrealist zone and go be in a funny comedy again. But there we go. That's the Community movie news. I'm so excited. I love Community. I sure hope Dan Harmon is the guy who's writing and directing it, and they bring back the Russo brothers from making their new Marvel product to make the Community movie. So that's pretty fun. But let's talk about a movie that's way, way, way better than Community movie. I haven't even seen Community movie, but let's talk about Bros. Bros. Everyone loves Bros. I joked about Bros last week. I called it the gay sex movie. Because that's how why can't I think of his name? Billy Eichner. That's how Billy Eichner described it on Billy on the Street with Paul Rudd. But I watched it. I had nothing else to do today, so I went to my local Marcus Theater. Saw the warm embrace of Greg Marcus. Made me a happy little guy.
What a cutie.
He's a cutie. They filmed a new trailer thing for him. I was a big fan of it. It's actually it's probably one of my favorites that I've seen.
Okay.
It's a very good one. But I was like, I don't know if I'll see it. But then, like, so many recommendations have been coming in, and they're all like people on the fringes of like being like, I wouldn't say famous because they're all famous, but like of being like popular in the mainstream. So you got like Mark Hamill. He's the Luke Skywalker. He's a voice actor now, really. You got Edgar Wright. You got Jack Black. Jack Black's famous. He's the only one that's like, I guess, A-list. Although, wait, Chris Evans also. So I guess those two are the A-list guys. Then you got Mandy Patinkin, who's Inigo Montoya is in The Princess Bride. He made a TikTok about it where he just like went around his house and then just took a little clip of him saying bros and then just compiled them all together. It was pretty cute. I liked going in the comments of that TikTok, and it was just people like, oh, this is a film? Love you, Mandy. Give a kiss to the wife for me. Like, it's all just like, old people. It was pretty funny. Also, Topher Grace. Famously Eddie Brock in Spider-Man 3.
Of course.
They all gave raving recommendations for bros, and I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll go see a rom-com. I'll spend my precious time when I could be watching Creep Show.
When I could be sitting at home.
When I could be sitting at home watching a way better movie like Dawn of the Dead, or I'm trying to think of spooky movies that are on my list. Evil Dead 2.
You haven't finished the first one yet.
I haven't finished the first one. But apparently the second one's really good. Like, the first one is not... I mean, it's the one that started it all. Whatever, this is not about Evil Dead. I could be watching all those movies. I'll go watch a stupid rom-com. And it was really good. It was really, really good. This is... Billy Eichner is probably the most cynical person on the entire planet. So for him to write a rom-com is honestly like perfect. And it's like, it rides this line, and it kind of reminds me of the Cornetto trilogy of kind of being like, they're parodies of the movies that they're parodying, but they're also like a really solid example of the genre. So like Hot Fuzz is a parody of a buddy cop movie, but I would say that Hot Fuzz is also a really solid buddy cop movie. This movie makes fun of a lot of the tropes that happens in rom-coms and like parodies some of the best ones, like even directly it parodies You've Got Mail. But it's also just like a really, really solid rom-com. I would highly, highly recommend this. It's way better than Nosferatu. I'm actually very, very pleased that I went and saw this movie. Great film. Great film. I laughed. I cried. It moved me in a way.
I lived, I laughed, and I loved.
I did. I went through all of those. And also, I didn't know Billy Eichner could act like that. He's really good. I only knew him from Billy on the Street, where he just runs up to people and yells in their face and then gives them $1. But yeah, he can pull it off. He's great. It's a great script. There's some great lessons in here. Just a great movie. Go watch Bros. It's in theaters now. It's even...
#ad.
It's not an ad. I would never get paid to promote a movie. Except I would. Literally any movie company, send an email to Boytime Business, and we will do an ad for your film. I don't even care.
We don't want your crypto rug pulls. We want money to review things.
Stop.
Specifically movies.
Stop sending us ads to promote NFTs. We want to promote films. And I specifically want an email from the director. So Neil Blomkamp, if you want us to send an email, or you want us to promote Gran Turismo movie, first send us a copy, because I'm not going to promote a movie I haven't seen. And then, send me an email. Send me a video of you saying, "Hi, Boytime Boys. I'm Neil Blomkamp. I directed..."
Make sure you're holding up like 2 or 3 fingers so we can tell that you're real.
That's right. Like hold your hand up to your face. So
Yeah,
that we
like
know
write
it's
your
you.
name, write our name on a whiteboard, and then
I don't
hold
want
that in
to.
frame.
I don't want to hear any ADR. So it's like, hey, and then like there's a black bar over the mouth. And it's like, boy time, boys.
Yeah, no.
No, we need to see
Gotta be
your
real.
mouth. Say it, Neil Blomkamp. And he's like, hey, I'm super excited. You're going to be reviewing my new movie, Gran Turismo. I love your show. I watch all of your music reactions, and I love the podcast. I listen to it while I'm making my movies. It would be an honor if you promoted my new film. I will do that. I will promote the hell out of your movie, Neil Blomkamp. I'll post it on my Twitter. Funny joke, because still don't have a Twitter.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone, though. Before we move on to music, I have 2 Boys of the Week, which I probably should have... I know! I should have opened this podcast with that, frankly. But I forgot. So now here we are. I actually have 2, even though they're all big groups of people. So it's not even one direct Boy of the Week. It's multiple people. The first one is for a podcast that I found called Plumbing the Death Star. It's really funny, and it's stupid, but it's good. It's 3 Australian guys, and they're all just they're all smooth brains, and they're like, hey, what would it be like if you did like the Face Off? What would you do with a different face? It's like, I don't know. My favorite ones that I thought I would recommend was, how would you sell the pen from The Wolf of Wall Street? That one made me laugh very hard when I was out and about, and it made me a little embarrassed. What are the implications of the minions being able to see the darkness within every human being? That one's just great. That's a great...
I want that on a t-shirt.
That's a great prompt. And then one that I started today that I thought was really funny was, how would you exploit Alvin and the Chipmunks for financial gain? AKA, how would you be David Cross in the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie? Yeah, it's great. Especially the frickin' Wolf of Wall Street one. I've never seen the Wolf of Wall Street, but it's like that classic marketing thing where it's like you go in for an interview to be a salesman, and they're like, okay, here's this pen. You got to sell me the pen. How are you going to sell me the pen? How would you sell a pen?
I'm possibly the worst salesperson on planet Earth because I don't believe in any of the products that I could be selling. You know,
You don't think that pens work?
I mean, pens work. but,
Okay.
like,
So then sell me. How? I'm not convinced. Why would I want to
Yeah, I'm
buy
not
this
either.
pen?
because it's cheap, affordable, and was not made in a sweatshop.
Wrong. That's the wrong answer. You obviously haven't
Yeah.
seen the film.
True.
I haven't seen the film either, but I know the
True.
the trick is that you got to give them.
Do I need to bring in Margot Robbie? Is that my issue?
That is the trick. Yes, you have to specifically bring in a piece of paper that has the picture of Margot Robbie naked in the door frame
Yeah,
of that one
yeah.
scene in that movie, and then
Yeah.
like show that to the guy, and it's like, I'll
Okay.
only give you this picture
you
if you
buy the
buy
pen.
this pen.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
trick.
good marketing.
Yeah, I think that's what they do in the movie. Again, haven't seen the movie, but I assume that's it. One of them has probably the best idea ever, which is eat the pen. And then that creates artificial scarcity. So yeah, you see,
That's true. That's true.
You
That's
see?
true.
It's a great marketing tactic. Yeah, I highly recommend that podcast. Yeah, it's just fun. The next one is for a YouTube channel, which is usually what Boy of the Week is, but it's for a YouTube channel called No Rolls Barred, which is a tabletop board gaming channel. They're all British, unfortunately. I know, it is pretty gross, but, you know, sometimes you have to watch some British people so you can understand
It's true,
how they
it's true.
think. So that we can take them down from the inside. But it's just like a bunch of people. I don't know if they're like from this like game cafe in London, but they're like partnered with this game cafe, and their studio is like right above the cafe. So they're like, hey, we're brought to you by this drafts board game club in London, but we're just gonna play this game for like an hour, and they're all really funny, and I like them a lot. Especially the guy Sullivan. They all have the most British names.
Sullivan.
Sullivan, he's funny. He always makes me laugh because he always likes getting booze and then getting drunk, and it's funny to me. So I would recommend them. They are definitely more like long form stuff. Like they play like not like the Game of Thrones board game. I haven't seen an episode where they play that, but it's like games like that where they're like an hour and a half long. Cut down. It's cut down to 1 hour and a half. The one thing that I can't stand, and I'm going to, this is one thing that kind of bugs me about this channel, is that they do talking head segments like it's a reality TV. So it's like something will happen in the game, and then it'll do like a whoosh, and then it'll be like
confessional
days after, and it's like this. Oh yeah, so this just happened, and I don't know what's gonna happen. This is crazy. And it's like, dude, I don't know, like, I don't know why you're trying to turn this into like a reality TV show, but what you're saying isn't necessarily funny, and like everyone knows that it happened like days after the fact.
You're just not British.
I'm not British, and
You don't get their humor.
No. Well, no, I do. I'm like the king of dry humor. Nobody gets me.
That's true. British humor is just dry humor.
I know. So like this is right up my alley because they're all like, they're all British humor. But then they do like these talking head segments, and I don't like it. That's like one of the reasons I don't really like reality TV or like cooking shows or anything that have those, where it just immediately takes me out. Where it's like, this is so unnecessary. I don't need to get into your head at this moment. I can see you. Like, we don't need this. It's a little bit wackadoodle, especially for a board game playthrough on YouTube. I don't know why I need this thing. But they make me laugh enough that I'm willing to forgive them. So check out No Rolls Barred and Plumbing the Death Star. Let's talk about music.
Is that my cue?
That's your cue.
Oh my god, it's my cue. Music. This is probably like the biggest week in a long time, I think.
Yeah, I know. I have like
some
three
reason.
things to talk about.
Yeah, and you don't even listen to music.
I
That's
don't.
Crazy.
Actually, I have 4 things to talk about. I don't think you're going to talk about the 4th one.
Okay. I don't even know, like...
This
we're
is
gonna
you know
talk
about it. You're just
sure I
probably not
do.
going to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Where do I start? Let's start with... We'll start with the Denzel Curry Deluxe. Why not? Since it's kind of a new album, kind of not. Yeah, we got Melt My See Your Future, the extended version.
Yeah.
This is a really, really good deluxe. I was not expecting this. I was expecting like maybe 3 tracks and then like a remix.
Yeah.
But instead, we got an entire live version of pretty much most of the album here, minus a couple songs. But then we got 2 original songs with it as well.
Yes.
But these are all live. They're super jazzy. There's some guitar parts that are really nice. Yeah, this is actually really good. Or really, really good deluxe. This is how you should do deluxes. It adds so much. I think he put out a video of like the video of this like live performance as well, so you can watch the whole thing on YouTube, I believe.
Yeah.
But I mean, like Walkin' sounds fantastic with live instrumentation. X-Wing was fantastic. I think the Ills on the live instrumentation was also really, really good. Yeah, this is a really good deluxe.
Yes. I think I prefer all of the Cold Blooded Soul versions over the originals. They're so great. If this is the direction he's going with his new record, then this is...
He's making an R&B album next.
If it's like live instrumentation, because that's the
Yeah.
same he did for the Tiny Desk too. It's like
Yeah.
I need a like full on funk soul rap thing.
Yes.
I would love
He's
that.
doing it very well.
Yes.
Although he's super consistent, so I have no worries going into whatever he's doing next.
Yeah.
But this is how you should be doing your deluxe versions, people. It's like a new experience without like shoving like B-sides that nobody wants to listen to onto a deluxe, or pulling a Nav and putting a whole new album on there for some reason.
Although, did you see what Nav said about his new record?
I did not.
He's not going to do a deluxe of his new
Oh,
record.
That's
He
bold.
said it's already perfect the way it is.
That's so cute. I go off, Nav, I guess.
Go off.
Next, we got Freddie Gibbs, Soul Sold Separately. Besides the album cover being garbage, this thing is really good. Yeah, I don't know what the thought process was there, but we'll be past that. Yeah, this is very different, I'll say, between everything else. This sounds like his mainstream record. There's a lot more conventional beats here. He's kind of diving into a little bit of like melodic rap. So I feel like not every track hits on this record, but like it's still a very good listen. There's like some nostalgic like mid 2000s rap kind of feels on a couple of these songs that are just like really fun. But I think the tracks that really like heighten this thing are the intro, Lobster Omelet with Rick Rouse, Feel No Pain with Anderson .Paak and Raekwon. That one's amazing.
Like Anderson.
Gold Rings with Pusha T, CIA, the closer. All these are fantastic. It's a lot more accessible. The beats are a lot more straightforward. We still have Alchemist and Madlib production on here, but there's like a ton of producers so that everybody kind of gets like one track, which works pretty well. I feel like some of the beats here could use like a little bit more of a touch up, just because like when you put all of these producers together, you have a Madlib and an Alchemist. You kind of put them in a league above most people. So if you get something where like a drum beat feels a little dry, you can immediately tell, because of what's sandwiching all these tracks. But yeah, I mean overall, it's a very good record. I don't think it's my favorite at all from him. It does sound a lot more conventional. I don't get the breakneck touch and go that he usually gets on like the Madlib collabs, where the track list just kind of flows perfectly. But he's doing something really different here, which is good. I think mixing it up is good. But I'm so excited for his Madlib, the finale of the Madlib trilogy. But yeah, it's still incredibly solid, incredibly solid. I think this one will be like, I don't know. It seems like everybody's kind of digging it so far. But I don't know if the people that are really into Freddie Gibbs are gonna like this one as much as other things.
Wow.
But yeah, I think Feel No Pain with Anderson .Paak and Raekwon's probably the best track here. It's Bob. Billy Woods next. Billy Woods dropped a surprise record. It was kind of a surprise. Spotify kind of spoiled it like 12 hours before it came out because of time zones.
What a coward.
I guess he didn't set a midnight release on it, so it just kind of came out at different time zones. But
Oh.
that's fine. I prefer that because of how stacked this week was. I probably would have not seen it otherwise. But Church is the title here. We got 12 tracks. This is of Billy Woods quality, which is to say it's very good. It's so much different from Ethiop's. This is a let me pull up the producer. I don't know. I think this is a one man producer show again. Yes, Messiah Music did the production on this one. It's weird because he's on conventional beats and there's drums, which is rare for a while for Billy Woods. I feel like abstract hip hop has really dove into like drumless or very little drums and everything now. So it was cool seeing him rap over like actual like standard drum patterns, because like you get so used to just not hearing them. And he does really well over them, obviously. Like the man has like an internal drum pattern going. It's just you never hear it in the actual music. But Subject matter wise, obviously religion, a lot of weed on this record. This is a stoned out album,
Oh, yo.
which is pretty cool. It's a lot more laid back. Still need to dive into lyrics. I haven't had a lot of time to listen to all these since there's been so much. So I've only done like one or two listens on all these. But uh, lyrically, his pen game is still one of the best in the game. Flow wise, he's really killing it on this record. There's a couple where he like finds really specific pockets where I'm like, wow, I did not know you could like listen to the beat that way and then just like go at it from that direction. So super unique delivery still. Uh, it starts kind of like stripped back, and then once we get into the weeds of like literally and track list wise of like track 4 onward, it really starts going. Schism is one of my favorites, more hard hitting, and then it goes into a reprise of No Hard Feelings from Ethiops. Apparently these are produced by two different people, but they use the same samples, so you can hear like the same like distorted bagpipe sample, which is really cool. I think classical music with Akai's solo and Fielded is a banger. The whole back half of this record is really fantastic. I think Puerto Rico is probably the best track here, though. That track's got that Billy Woods magic on it, where it's like really weird choruses and verses, but they like hit hard, even though you have like no idea what he's talking about the first time around. But still fantastic. He has such a good way of just wordplay. Like I was watching like a history of British imperialism in Africa like a couple weeks ago to celebrate the Queen dying.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to look back at all that kind of stuff, and like the stuff he described on some of these tracks felt like it was straight out of those documentaries where it's like people running into the forests during like British colonization, and coming back and like having too many bodies to bury and they had to burn them and everything.
Yeah.
So he's describing all of this through like that lens, like personal lens, on these tracks, and like I could visually see everything because I was just watching stuff about that like weeks ago, and now he's referencing them directly on tracks, and it's like incredible picture painting. But yeah, stuff like that. I think Puerto Rico, and all jokes aside, the two combos to kind of close out the record were really fantastic. And then you have Magdalene as kind of like I don't know if I want to say a victory lap, but a very more upbeat song with Lucid. So very good. I don't think it is as good as Ethiops, but I think depending on what kind of Woods fan you are, this could be better for you. I just think Ethiops is like one of the best hip hop records of the decade, just because of how in depth and unique the whole thing is. But this is a lot more laid back, easy listening. This is a good starting point for Billy Woods. This is very similar to what he did in 2019 with Hiding Places and Terror Management. He came out with Hiding Places, got insane critical acclaim. Everybody absolutely loved it. And then he just followed up same year with Terror Management, which is a lot more laid back, more conventional, easier to listen to. So he kind of did the same formula here. But good job as always. It's still one of the best hip hop releases of the year. So we go from here. Boldy James dropped another record. I do need to check on how many he has on the year. I feel like this is 3. Let me
Sounds
see.
right. You keep talking about him.
This is 2. Wait, yeah, this is 2. Okay. Yeah, he did one earlier this year with Real Bad Man, and now he's teamed up with Nicholas Craven, who I have not heard of before. This is my first record of him, but he's a producer, obviously. Very different production style. It is literally just like old soul samples chopped and then like adding an 808 over the top, which is cool for Boldy style because Boldy James is like the coldest like rapper out there. So any like warm soul sample matched with him is going to be a great time. The record's pretty good. There's some points where it's a little sleepy because of like Nick Craven's cool, but his production gets too minimal sometimes, where it is literally just a soul sample and then an 808 to like make it like some kind of a beat. There's not too much of a switch up or like intrigue once you get like halfway through. It's kind of like an autopilot situation. But Bully James kind of carries through anyways because of how good his wordplay is usually. So still pretty decent. I had no idea this was coming out until it came out on Friday. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't realize we had this as well. but still a pretty good record. There's some pretty good tracks on here. I think Town and Country, Straight and Tall, and Power Nap are probably my favorites. That was pretty good. What else we got? Kendrick Lamar went on SNL.
Sure did.
This weekend. He did, what did he do? Father Time, he did N95, and he did Rich Spirit, I think.
Yes.
All were pretty good. I don't think they're anywhere near like his other live performances, but SNL's live performances have continued to go downhill. I feel like other late night shows are so much better at live performances.
Yeah.
So not really his doing. I feel like SNL has just kind of taken a major L lately.
Maybe. I don't know. He was like, it didn't seem like that there was a lot going on. I just watched the I one, and that one was fantastic. But this one, he's just kind of standing there, and then he moves.
Yeah, and I mean that matches with the album. Like,
yeah,
that's what the music is. But yeah, the mixing on SNL is always so bad, and I don't know. There's not like the sense of like performance like there is on other late night shows.
No.
So it was kind of weird. It was like a music video almost. So it was still pretty decent. I think the Father Time one was probably my favorite, just because they actually got Sampha out with him.
Yeah, I like that one.
So that one felt like the best one, but pretty decent. Yeah, check it out if you're interested. I just don't think it lives up to his other stuff, but I don't really care that much. It's like a little bonus on top. I don't think I'll ever watch them again. I don't think I watch the live performances of that stuff usually.
No.
Unless it's like one of those like really good ones. But
Hot take.
what else was there? Hot take?
I don't know. I don't watch music videos.
Okay, that's true.
I still haven't seen the freaking what's the freaking one he did? The We Cry Together. I haven't seen
Oh, you
that.
didn't watch We Cry Together yet?
No. What do I look like? Some kind of guy that has time on his hands? I just saw Bros.
I don't know. You watch like 3 movies a day. I thought you could
I
take
watched
like 5
Bros.
minutes,
I don't have time.
You've listened to After Hours like 5 times in the past week, and you haven't looked at the music videos yet.
Don't have time.
I haven't been on the internet all weekend, and I found time.
I don't know. I don't open YouTube. I just wanted, if it was on Spotify, I'd watch it.
That could be cool if they put music videos on Spotify.
They should.
They do that with Apple.
They do?
Mm-hmm.
They should do that. I'll send an email to Spotify.
Yeah.
Hey, I know you just added audiobooks, but how about something better? Music videos.
Music videos. All right. What else were you gonna talk about?
Wait, that's it? You didn't talk about Lucy Dacus.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Coward. Carole King
Go.
covers. It was funny because we were literally talking about that.
Yeah, like
a
literally 2
couple-
hours before she released them.
a couple hours. I'm like, man, are those out? Because when we went to the concert in February, she played Home Again.
I think it was Home Again. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, man, that was really good. I would like to get that on Spotify. And then we looked and it wasn't there. And a couple hours later, it was there.
Yep.
We got 2 Carole King covers. We got Home Again and what is it? It's Too Late. Yeah. I like it. I think it's just hard. There's a little bit of a disconnect because I associate Carole King with the piano. And these are guitar heavy covers, which I mean, you have to differentiate yourself a little bit, but it doesn't really feel like a Carole King song without those pianos. But they're good. I liked them, but I don't know why I would listen to that over the Carole King version. But
I mean, it depends. I mean, the only like cover songs I listen to are Phoebe Bridgers because she's kind of the queen of doing covers. But
Yeah.
other than that, I'm pretty much, I don't listen to covers a whole lot.
I don't
But that's cool. I know she was like doing something on Twitter with those a couple months ago, so I was wondering when they were gonna be up. I thought they were gonna be in the Spotify session that she did, but
yeah,
she did Believe instead.
she did a share
Which is
cover.
kinda funny.
She always
Yeah.
does. She does a lot of covers though, doesn't she?
She does, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And then you didn't talk about Rihanna at the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
This is the first public performance in 5 years. Super Bowl.
Yeah, she's been kind of like out for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good show.
I mean,
I
she
don't know if it's
definitely has the
just
songs.
gonna be her or if it's gonna be like I'm sure there'll be other supporting acts, like ASAP Rocky or something. That could be fun. Yeah, I think it'd be a good performance. It's such a weird switch up from like Taylor Swift to Rihanna. Like, I don't know what a Taylor Swift halftime show would look like. Anyways, it's kind of a weird.
Has she already done one?
I don't know. I feel like maybe.
It sounds like something, but every time I search it, it just says Super Bowl performance 22. So did she? Did she do it around Red? Or 1989?
I don't know. She just doesn't seem like a Super Bowl halftime artist.
She has like the hits.
She does, but like, it's football. You know.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I feel like a lot of these dudes are like too caught up in their masculinity to be like, yeah, I like some of the Taylor Swift songs.
I guess I could
It's
see
it's
that.
a weird kind of vibe for that.
Yeah,
But
because
I think Rihanna will do great.
every dude loves Maroon 5
Yeah, of course.
and Shakira.
Yeah. Well, the dudes loved looking at Shakira.
They
That
love
was like
looking
half
at
of Twitter.
Shakira. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose
Yeah.
that's true.
But I think Rihanna will do really well. I think she's definitely got enough hits to carry through there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be a different vibe again. But yeah, that should be good. Other stuff I listened to this week. I listened to my first Aphex Twin album, the
That's
Richard
awesome.
D. James album. It's a great name for an album. I love it. And he's just got a scary face on the front. It's very cool. This is IDM. It is definitely what you'd expect Aphex Twin to sound like. Very glitchy, very electronic, very like awkward in a good way. Very good like background music. It's really great. I need to listen to it more. It's like stuff like this where it's like you don't understand the IDM label until you hear something like this because it's like electronic dance music and then like IDM is intelligent dance music, which intelligent is a super pretentious term, but it makes sense because like it's dance music, but you don't dance along to it.
Okay.
That's all it is. Because like how would you? It's not really like it's like your brain dances to it, but you don't. But beats are really cool. I always expected Aphex Twin to be like more noisy because their album covers are deceiving because they all look very evil. But it's just very nice. It's more ambient sided on this one on some tracks. Yeah, it's pretty sick. What else I got? I got Tangerine Dream. This is so random. Phaedra from 1974. I think my girlfriend and I were talking about ambient stuff, and she's like, "Listen to this. This is like a sci-fi ambient album from the 70s, so like very old school sci-fi, which it sounds very forward, like for 74. Like this is like 2001 Space Odyssey type beat in 74. Like it's very mysterious, kind of eerie, kind of calming. They only have the deluxe version on Spotify, which is 2.5 hours, but it's only the first 4 tracks are what the record was because like you can only fit that much on a vinyl. I don't like when Spotify only has these editions of the album out because I always have to look up the actual track list of the original
Right.
to like know when to stop because I'm not listening to 2.5 hours of this.
No.
But it's pretty cool. It's the title track is probably the best one on here. But it's still a really cool ambient piece. Very, like, it's not Eno-ish where it's very calming. It's meant to just be like this background, like, moment. It's more of a sci-fi experience, which is cool. It kind of pulls you into the kind of like eerie, weird headspace. So that was pretty cool. I don't know how much I'm gonna listen to it. It's just kind of one of those you put in your back pocket until like you're ready to like. I have work to focus on. Let me put on, some
Airplane
kind of
music.
yeah. But I think that's it that I have down. I have not listened to the new Bjork record yet. I was gonna wait until next week, just because I listened to like 5 new albums on Friday, and that was not about to dive into my first Bjork record. I feel like I need to be of clear mind for that since it's gonna be so out there, in terms of like what I usually listen to. But I'll give a review of that next week. But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. I don't think I listened to anything new this week except for Titanic Rising. The video
True.
is out already.
Right now,
Came out
go watch
yesterday.
it.
So, congratulations to all of the Wise Blood fans out there. We finally listened to everyone's favorite record.
Yep.
Next up,
And we'll react to the new one.
and we're going to do The Innocents.
Yes.
What's so funny?
What are we doing next? Paper mache dream.
Paper
Balloon?
Mache Dream Balloon by
Okay.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Wizard.
And then we're going to do Ice V.
Yes. There's gonna be a lot of King Gizzard coming.
Is that record out?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. Is it
I
next
feel like it's
week?
next week.
Okay, I saw they posted the album cover, and I just assumed.
Yeah. Let me check. Oh, Brockhampton just announced the final album as well.
When's that coming out? Huh?
We don't know what's coming out yet. It's just gonna be this year. Apparently, Kevin Abstract says it's called No Cap, and they posted the album cover, and it looks fake, but I kind of like it.
Okay, let me look it up.
It's kind of funny. I like it. So that should be coming. Yes, October 7th is the King Gizzard, the first hit of October, which is Ice Death Planets, Lungs, Mushrooms, and Lava. So I guess
love
we'll be doing
for
that.
us.
Friday night, probably.
Wait, I can't find anything about No Cap on Brockhampton.
It's just going to be on Kevin Abstract's Twitter.
I'm gonna have to go on Twitter now.
Yeah. This is like breaking news. It was like
Oh,
20
it
minutes
just happened?
ago. Yeah, it was like 20 minutes ago.
Is it the one where it's Black SpongeBob?
No, that's his profile picture, though. It's kind of funny. It's like some dude under a stop sign.
No, there's no way this is the original. Isn't it?
I hope that's actually the album cover. It looks so good.
Did they like AI remove a hat from him? Like, why is his head shaped like that?
I don't know.
You
Maybe
ever
because
notice
it's no cap,
Yeah.
But the edges of the sign do look a little bent, but like so does the bottom part. So I don't know what's going
They
on in
just
that picture.
they really messed it up a
Yeah,
little bit.
I love it because like the no caps off center too. I really hope this is the real cover.
There's no way this is the real cover.
But that's coming this year. So, yeah, we got October 7th, King Gizzard. We also have Changes King Gizzard coming on the 28th. So we'll see if you want to do that one as well.
We'll see what this thing goes.
Changes. But yeah, Billy Woods is coming in concert to one of the colleges in my city on next Friday, and apparently admission's free. So I am definitely going to that. So I'll have a concert review for that coming soon.
For whom?
Billy Woods.
Oh, okay.
So I knew he was kind of like going to be in the area, but I didn't realize it crept up this quick. And I don't know how it's free, but apparently it is. So
That'll be fun.
I'm going down there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's fun. I saw a funny tweet we'll end this podcast with.
Okay.
Famously, the dream face reveal just happened today. Or maybe infamously from now.
Yes,
maybe.
we are post dream face reveal.
That's right. We wouldn't have said that yesterday.
True.
Got a funny tweet from Nopify. It said, Dream is so pale because the only time he goes outside is to vote Republican.
Okay, that's a banger.
That's a good tweet. Sometimes Twitter's like, here's a good tweet. We'll send you 20 ones that are bad, but here's one funny one. And for that, I'm grateful.
I'm appreciative.
So next week we'll be talking about when Dream puts back on the mask. Because he doesn't like when people make fun of him.
Yeah, that's what you get for kind of hyping up your face reveal to be something huge. You should
Yeah.
have just kind of like done it nonchalantly. I feel like that would have avoided a lot of the issues you're about to run into.
Yeah. I don't get the whole hype about a face reveal. You know, normal people just call those videos.
Well, you know what we're talking about here.
I know what we're talking about, but I've never really gotten the whole thing about
It's
face
partially
reveals
like
in
the
general.
fandom's fault, but it's also going to be him hyping it up to the amount that
Oh.
he has.
I think you can blame Dream for a lot of the things surrounding his community. If I can be completely frank with the audience. I know our audience is full of Dream stands because of how much we report on the freaking
The Minecraft SMP.
the Dream SMP.
Is that still a thing? I feel like the Dream SMP isn't even a thing anymore.
I think it's a thing.
Okay.
They're called the it's like the
Maybe
D,
the news cycle has died down.
it's like the D team, like Dream, but instead of the R it's a T. So it's team.
Team.
Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed
Deem.
to say. Deem. It's probably Deem. All right, we'll catch you losers later when we talk about what's coming out next week. Bros 2.
Bros 2. Taylor Swift single.
Really?
I don't know. We're getting close, so maybe.
Next week, the Taylor Swift single will be out.